Good question. This is to you, Mike, really. But I mean, I think people never really understand these days how enormous Radio 1 was in its early days and the fans and how big all the DJs were. I mean, did you find that was the case? Did you realise at the time?
No, I don't think you realise at all. Because I came from a background of having been on stage, having written songs. I did my first book of poetry at college. I wrote a musical when I was at college. I'd always written songs. So that's where I was coming from, really. I never got into it to open supermarkets or do that. I got into it, and the reason I still do it is my love of music. I still listen to songs. I still play songs. I'm still, as I was at the BBC, they still saw me as anti-establishment. What are you playing now? Why are you playing that? Why are you championing this song? So I've had that throughout my career of playing music, and the bands love it, but the establishment have always had a go, but why don't you just play what you're told? I said, that's not the reason I'm doing it, to play what I'm told. I'm doing it to play great music, and that's why I do it. So no, I think you were aware of it, but I don't think, I always took what I did seriously, but I didn't take myself seriously. But you got caught up in it. When Duran Duran landed by helicopter at the TV Centre, the girls are tearing you apart along with Duran Duran. When you do a Southern Spandau, the same. When you do the road shows, the Radio 1 road shows, you get back to the hotel and you're bruised and scratched and all the rest of it. And yeah, you were sort of treated in those days probably more like a pop star. So I don't think you knew any different. As I said, I didn't do it and then go home thinking, oh, gosh, aren't I wonderful? I went home and played tennis and wrote something for an article for the Sussex magazine on poetry or something like that. So I had a music Dorian Davis said, you're a very unusual animal. Most people go clubbing or hang around the London scene. You go home and organize a croquet tournament and have afternoon tea. And I said, well, yeah, I find it quite appealing, actually. So, yeah, I've always been a bit different on that front, but I've always championed the music. I've always been a big music fan. I love writing, and I've been doing a lot of collaborations in songwriting over the last year. I've written a lot with a guy called Phil Springer, who wrote The Next Time and Santa Baby. He's the last surviving Brill Building member. He's not the last one, but he's the oldest. He's 95, still knocks out a great tune. So I've written about 6 really good songs with Phil. So to write with a guy that wrote Santa Baby is fantastic. So yeah, lockdown has been really good from a writing point of view. So yeah, I'm just like all of us, I guess, like the Doc and John, I'm a music fan, but we all fall into the areas that we work in.
It brings the point, actually, about presenters. It's interesting. I regard myself as a sort of B-, try harder sort of presenter. I've done my bit, but presenters generally don't get that adulation, perhaps, that, although I understand the Radio 1 days and the wet T-shirts and all that stuff, I guess, but generally, presenters are there to do a job, aren't they? And to make the staff feel better, I suppose. I had a few skirmishes thinking I'd made it. I did a PA with AHA once because I'd done their first interview in my lounge in 85 or whatever it was, or 4. And following that, 3 days later, they did an appearance at HMV, and my now wife Maggie was with me on the day. And I turned up and the place was chocker. I was there with the film crew. And something inside me said I'd arrived because there was a big crowd there. And I was thinking, oh, BBC and that. And once the band had departed, there were 3 people left and me and the crew. And I remember Maggie saying to me, should we get a cab home? I said, yes. And that was the end of any dreams I had of adulation. I just thought, at that point, I actually thought I was part of that, but it's nothing to do with me at all.
I think there should be more adulation. I'd like more adulation for us, definitely. I'd like to start a campaign. More adulation would be fantastic. Absolutely, yeah, I love that. That would be marvelous. But no, I mean, we do what we do, and I think if you enjoy it and you love it and you have fun doing it, then it's great. Yeah, we just got caught up in the whole thing at the time, and that's how it was, and you sort of accepted it. You accept anything in life, don't you? Like when you're a kid, what's happening at the moment? We're going to live in a different place. You kind of accept it and you roll with it. But yeah, great. I mean, it's just I just love me. I still get excited about a great song. I mean, John's band have got a great new single out I'm playing on the radio, and it sounds fantastic. You can see the surge on social media of people going, oh, I love this. You know, somebody in Australia this morning said, well, come on, I'm waiting to hear it, you know, which is great. I mean, and I think it's great, you know, that I'm still playing the music, you know, Doc and John still making it. So yeah, it's great fun.
And you got your new channel, Mike. We might as well talk about that quickly.
What's that? We got the new station, Nation Radio UK, that Dr. Fox, Neil Fox, and myself are running. We're all sorts of stuff going on, really. A lot of books. I'm knee deep in books. That's my main thing. So at 10 o'clock in the morning, I'm finished. I get on with my real work after having fun for 3 hours. So yeah, it's all good fun.
Because behind all this joy and the glitter and all this top of the pop stuff and Radio 1, there's an awful lot of work that goes on, isn't there? And as you're saying there, Clive, you know, no one, they'll know you as Dr. and the Medics, but they don't really know what's happened before and the work and all the tears that have gone into it. And indeed for you, John, and I guess for us all. So it's just what the public sees, isn't it? They think, well, that's just happened, but there's an awful lot of work that goes in, isn't there?
Oh, yeah.
Oh, sorry, John.
Sorry, John.
Oh, it's all right. I just, yeah, there's a lot of it behind the scenes, and some people think it's so easy to do, but there's always something in the way that, you know, like Lockdown, this thing, we make an album. We've all written songs written by my band, and we've done about 4 tracks already. I'll probably do about 10, I think, probably, but all written by the band. And we held up. We just want to get this album out. But it's the only thing that's driving me forward at the moment because of lockdown. It's a pain. But I think you've got to have a vision and get out there and think, you know, let's not let lockdown get you down. Let's keep going and do our best. And first gig was our last gig we did last year. When did lockdown start? Was it 2 years ago?
Well, it feels like 2 years, yeah.
Yeah, that was the North Court in Abingdon. That's the next gig I'm doing. That's our first gig of the year this year. So we're looking forward to that. So I can't wait.
But John, when you step up to those skins, I mean, are you actually excited when you step up in front of the kit? Or is it just another day at the office, as they say?
No, it's not another day at the office. It's just great fun and I enjoy it. And I have a great band and it's very lucky to get these guys involved. And it's really, for me, it is a buzz like it was always has been. And I've always said, if I don't enjoy it, I'm not going to do it anymore. But the problem, having said that, what do you do then? You know, what do you do? You know, drive a bus, I suppose. I'm too old to do that. But yeah, but it's great. The only thing is traveling. I've got a roadie, thank God, drives me about, but I couldn't do it on my own. But you know, that's part of the job. So you just think, well, it's 200 miles, 300 miles, whatever it is, and do it. But we do a lot of stuff in Holland as well, Belgium and France. Miss it all terribly, and they keep wanting us to go to Sweden. I haven't been back there for ages, but he said playing Sweden a lot, and it's always good fun. But, you know, at the end of the day, I get behind that kit and I enjoy it and I love it. Thank God. You know, it's everything else sometimes. Thank God we don't get roast beef and Yorkshire pudding given to us at the gig before we play.
On not a somber note, but Ricky Parfitt, I'm sure that you knew him, Mike. I certainly did, and most certainly John did. I don't know whether you Parf, but Clive. But John, just a word about. I mean, what I miss about Rick is the stupidity of the man, the pure humour and daftness. I referred to recently as Francis, and it was the Morecambe and Wise of rock and roll, and it definitely was that, wasn't it?
Oh yeah, I mean they would write great songs together, and he was always good fun. Rick Parfitt, I remember we're flying somewhere in Europe maybe, and I remember we got on the plane. We weren't all sitting together, and the stewardess came up to me and she said, "Like a drink, Miss Coghlan." "Oh yeah, thank you. Your friend, your blonde friend, is he all right?" "What do you mean?" You know, looked round and she said, "Look over there." So I got up like that and looked up, and he's sitting a couple of seats over there. Oh, he's got some cigarettes out of his cigarette packet, and he's put 2 in this ear. He put 2 in there, about 20 in his hair, and 2 up his nose. I said, Oh, no. I said, he's fine. I said, he's always like that. She said, really? I said, what you got to worry about is when he likes them all, then you've got a problem.
Yeah,
And
that sounds like him.
there was another thing when in the old days, in the early days of Status Quo, he used to ring me up when when we had a day off. Hey, Spud. He said he lived in Woking with his mum and dad, and I lived in Upper Norwood, West Norwood with my mum and dad. That's near Crystal Palace, right? And he said, he'd ring up. Should we only go to Le Chasse for an hour? Yeah, go on then. All right. Okay. So he'd drive his Singer Gazelle up to my house in West Norwood, get in the car. He'd drive up there to Wardour Street, he said, let's go to the marquee, see Jackie, right, Jack. Hello, Spud. Hello, Rick, come in. Be some terrible band on, so fuck that, see ya, bye. We go down to the Ship pub. We come out the marquee, turn right, there's a pub on the corner there. Go in there, Lila was in there. Hello, boys, all right. Have a few drinks with her and the old man, where you have his braces and his real grimmed hair. And chatting up some girls. Then, yeah, that's right. We come out of there, right, and we go down the road on the right-hand side. There was a gig called Le Chasse, I think. Was it? Yeah. Ring the bell, let us in. And I used to see Viv Prince up there quite a lot, drummer with the pretty things. We'll get up a few with him. I mean, if you did that now, then we go down. There was what was the Swiss place called downstairs? They painted it.
Saint-Moritz.
That's it. We go down there. Oh, fuck it. Then, you think about it.
Still going.
Hey?
It's still going.
No, really?
Yeah, sir. Yeah.
But then Rick would drive me home, right, and he'd sing a Gazelle, drop me off, then drive to Woking. Now, can you imagine doing that now? Brilliant days, though. Rick was lovely, and he used to love his Porsches, and he bought a Range Rover. I bought the first Range Rover, and he bought one, and Francis bought one. Alan didn't want one. We did a program called Quo Off the Road. It was a bit to do with off-road driving. But it was fun. Rick fell down at home in Spain. That's what I was told. And they rushed him to hospital and something happened internally. But I remember the phone ringing at home. It's Christmas Eve. And Jilly answered it. And she looked at me. She went, oh, fuck. No. And you know what? It never hits you to the next day. And I remember nearly crying and thinking, oh, shit. And I remember doing a gig, the Half Moon in Putney. I think it was January, February. And there's a fan in Holland, a really lovely fan, sent me this amazing bit of poetry. Now, this bit of poetry was all to do with a Quo song, all the Quo songs you could ever think of, right? It's the album tracks. And he wrote this poem, and I said to the guys, I've got to read this out. I'll read it out to the audience, and everyone started crying, including me. It was like, no, when you try and fight it like I am now, it gets worse. Just gets worse. And it was the most amazing poem I've ever heard spoke about in my life, because this Dutch fan wrote it, and I can't remember how it goes now, but Rick was sadly missed, and he was a lovely man, and he went through some rough bits in his life, but we miss him terribly, Steve. We miss him terribly.
There are just some people, and with Parfitt, Mike, I'm sure you knew him, didn't you?
Yeah, I first met Rick before I got into radio in West Byfleet when he was looking for a house. I knew him then, and his au pair at one time did a scurrilous story on me after I'd stayed at their house a couple of nights. But anyway, that's by the by. That's all part of rock and roll.
What do you mean by the by?
And as John knows, I'm still very friendly with Patty, and we went together to look for a suitable place for his blue plaque for BBC Music Day about 4 years ago. And we alighted on a place, because most of the places Rick had lived in, or his mum's, his granny's cafe, and had all been knocked down. So we found a place right in the centre of Woking, and we said, that's it, on that pillar. And that's where it is. And Richard, his son, went and unveiled it. And, basically, I think he said, my dad never saw himself as a rock star or a celebrity. He saw himself as part of a working band. That's what he was. He was a working musician, and that's what he saw himself as. And he unveiled the plaque, and it's there. So Rick is commemorated in the centre of Woking with the blue plaque. So
I
I remember the day.
I was there.
Yeah.